welcome to today's yoga practice. We're going to start by placing one hand to the heart, one to the belly, and just finding a comfortable seat. Keeping a nice straight spine. Chin slightly tucked in towards the chest. And just noticing the flow of breath moving through the body today. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling back out through the nose. Our yogic breath. As we breathe into the belly, notice on that inhale as it presses against the palm of the hand. And as you exhale, how it falls away. Placing the left hand down onto the mat, we're going to sweep the right arm up over the head, being mindful to keep that left shoulder drawn away from the ear. Sit bones seated to the floor, and if you feel comfortable, just starting to tilt the chest up towards the sky and the gaze can follow. On our next inhale, we're going to come through center and go over to the other side. So leaning into that supporting arm, top shoulder is relaxed, sit bones rooted to the ground, and then gently pivoting that chest, that heart space open up towards the sky. Gaze to follow if you feel comfortable. Lovely. And then on an inhale, coming back to center. Staying in your comfortable seated position, just placing both hands to the knees. Start to inhale, pressing the chest forward, lifting the gaze. And as we exhale, the chin tucks into the chest and we round through the spine. Inhale again to come forward, finding this cat and cow movement. Exhale, draw the tummy in, chin to chest. Exhale here. Inhale, moving forward. And exhale, coming back. Coming up to center, we're going to reach both arms up to the sky, let the gaze follow to the thumbs, and gently place one hand on the opposite knee, the other hand comes back behind us. We find a gentle twist here. So keeping up on the back fingertips, spine again nice and long. And you can just turn the gaze slightly behind you. Continuing to use our breath, our inhale through the nose, our exhale through the nose. And then on our next inhale, reach the arms to the sky, gaze to follow, and coming over to the opposite side again, shoulders soft. Up on the fingertips of the back hand, we find that twist. Focusing in on the heart space, the theme of our practice today. And then inhale, rise to center and bring the hands to the floor. We're going to find a tabletop position to begin with. And just gently moving around, getting any wiggles, anything you need to do just to release through the spine, through the hips. Showing a bit of kindness to the body today. And then just gently placing our right hand to the top of the mat. Our knee is going to come to the inside. That right foot is going to come towards the long side of the mat. We're going to stretch the left leg out. With an inhale, we'll sweep that arm up and over the head. Again, we can keep that shoulder soft. Our knee is there to support us. Our tummy is engaged. And then we're going to inhale, come up to center just to balance onto that knee. And release over to the opposite side. Again, shoulders stay soft. And our gaze can be lifted or straight out in front of us. Our core is engaged the whole time. On an exhale, we're going to bring that right hand back to center, left arm over the top. Just gently tucking the toes and pressing back. And then finding tabletop once again, switching over to the other side. So left hand comes down, left leg comes out to the side, knee supporting us, leg supporting us. Right arm sweeps up over the head, shoulders soft, gaze is up or in front of us. Take your time on an inhale to rise to center. Exhale, we lean over to the other side. So we're stretching out through the left side of the body this time. And then we inhale or exhale even, come all the way back round. Find your tabletop, maybe a little stretch out through the back toes and to center. From here, sitting the hips back down to the heels, find Balasana, child's pose. And we're going to start to move through a little bit of a flow. So our practice today is focused around AHIMSA, non-violence or harm. So physically we're moving from our heart-centered place. So in any movement you find in today's practice, let the heart lead. Just bringing the left hand to the left side of the mat, right hand to rest on top. And just coming off to the side in a child's pose, stretching out the right side of the body. Moving through center. And then over to the right side. Left hand to rest on top. The head comes down between the arms. Continuing with the breath. Coming back through center. We're going to slowly, staying down onto the forearms, bring the body forward up into a gentle cobra. The first one's always the most difficult to get into. And then gently releasing, send the hips all the way back to child's pose. Exhale. On your inhale, again staying as low as you can. Let the belly come to the floor as you inhale, rise up for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. Lovely. Inhaling once again, keeping low. Inhale to lift, shoulders soft. And exhale, reverse the movement. Once more, inhale, moving forward, lifting, roll the shoulders back, and then exhale. Bring the forearms to the floor. We're going to come into Sphinx pose, so spread the fingers wide, maybe separate the feet a little bit if you want to release through the spine. And keeping the chest lifted, the heart lifted, and the gaze is in front. Reaching right arm forward. We're going to rest our head down onto that right arm. Bring the toes of the left foot up to the sky and just gently opening the hip by placing the left leg back behind us. We use the left arm to support us. And then we slowly come back round, swapping over to the other side. Keep the left arm extended, right arm to the floor. And bring that leg back behind you, opening through the hip and rolling back to the belly. From here, hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. We're going to find our downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Shavasana, just starting to pedal out through the legs. Taking any movements you need here to get comfortable. Soften through the head, the neck, engaging our core still. And the breath continues to move in through the nose, out through the nose. Turning the gaze to the hands, start to walk the feet One at a time, up to the top of the mat, we find a gentle forward fold here. Take a bend in the knees, let the heart release, arms dangle down. And again, as we did in our child's pose, we're going to bring the hands over to the left side. It's important here to keep the knees bent. Through center, and then over to the right. Lovely. Take your time to come back through center. Press into the soles of the feet. We're going to sweep the arms up towards the sky. Gaze follows to the thumbs, and as we exhale, the hands rest to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment to adjust here. Take a breath. And come to stand nice and tall at the top of the mat, feet planted. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, big swan dive down as the hands come to the floor. And then on your next inhale, we reach up to the sky again. Exhale, hands to the heart. Repeating this a few times. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive down. Bend into the knees as we forward fold. Reaching all the way up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Slowly rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. We're going to step the left leg back, right leg is forward. We're going to find Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. So bending into the front leg, knee stacked over the ankle. The shoulders stay nice and soft and relaxed. Stretching out the arms, we gaze down that middle finger. We're going to find a flow here. So our right arm comes down to our forearm, left arm reaches over the head. You can gaze up to the sky or straight in front of you. Shoulders are soft, core engaged. Let the heart lead as you exhale. Top arm comes to the back leg, keeping it nice and soft here. No weight, and our other arm reaches back for peaceful warrior. That top arm comes down in front of the face, back to the forearm, and the other arm reaches up over the head. We continue this flow. Back to peaceful warrior. Arm sweeps down. Left arm reaches up over the head. And again, peaceful warrior. Sweep that arm all the way around to rest to the thigh, and we come back to our extended side angle and back into Warrior 2. Finding Trikonasana now, so we straighten the front leg, bump the hips to the back of the room, arms reach forward in the opposite direction, and then we slowly lower the front hand down towards the floor to our ankle. And we find this nice straight line from the middle finger to the middle finger. And then slowly release the top arm down. We're going to move into a plank position and through our vinyasa. So either coming down to the knees or full chaturanga, your choice. Inhale, roll those shoulders back, find cobra or up dog. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, hips high, downward facing dog. Lovely, everyone. Again, mindfully walking those feet one at a time up to the top of the mat. Find forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. On the other side now, we're going to come find Warrior 2 facing towards the other side of the mat. Taking a moment here, shoulders soft before we move through our flow. So that front arm's going to come down onto the forearm when we're ready to move. Left arm comes down, right arm sweeps over the head, extended side angle pose, shoulders soft. Gaze can be lifted or in front of you. Right arm comes down, rests on the back of the thigh, left arm reaches over, peaceful warrior. Let that top arm lead, come back to extended side angle. Lovely, finding this circular movement with the arms, moving with the breath. Inhale. As you arrive in peaceful warrior, exhale and repeat the breath cycle again And find your warrior two. Fantastic. We're going to come to Trikonasana, straighten the front leg, hips to the back of the room, reach the left arm forward, and then slowly release the arms down. Find that lovely straight line from the hand to the hand. And the gaze is wherever you feel comfortable. On an exhale, bring the hands down. Find your plank position. And then moving through a vinyasa, full chaturanga or knees to the floor. Then finding cobra or upward facing dog. Before walking the feet in, finding your comfortable downward facing dog position. When you're ready, bring the knees to the floor. And we're going to come into puppy pose. So our hips stay lifted. You can tuck the toes or keep them soft, your choice. The arms come out long and we settle the heart down towards the mat. Breathing deep, allowing the heart space to expand and open. Finding comfort within the pose. And then slowly walking the hands in, come to sit onto the knees. Moving through a little bit of a flow now. We're going to bring our left hand behind us, let the right arm sweep up. Watching how I'm doing this in the video and just gently starting to lift the hips as you come round. This is just gentle practice before we come into camel pose. So allowing the arms to lead, just coming up as far as you feel comfortable. Warming up into the hips and the shins stay to the floor. As we move with the breath. Allowing the heart to open and lift to the sky. Coming back to center, just clasping the hands back behind you. We're going to gently squeeze the arms down towards the soles of the feet. Shoulder blades draw together and we look up towards the sky. For a softer practice, you can bend the elbows and keep the head level. Gently have a wiggle out and then come up onto the knees, tucking the toes. Notice how the hands I display out in front of me. We're going to bring them just like that, little fingers to touch to the back of the spine, just above the bottom, and squeeze the elbows together. So just finding a gentle camel practice here. Try not to let the head go as I just lovely displayed. Keeping some strength in the neck, the chin slightly drawn in, the hips draw out, and the core stays nice and engaged. If you have a full camel practice here, you can come into it whenever you like. Otherwise, just working on easing into the spine. When you're finished, just sit the bottom back down to the heels, hands come to rest onto the thighs, and returning to your breath. Resisting the urge to come into child's pose here. When you're ready, we're going to find our twists again. Inhale, look to the sky. Exhale, left hand comes to right knee. We gently draw the body round and the gaze follows. Beginning to wind down our practice. Inhale, come to center again. Exhale, over to the other side. Just neutralizing the spine once again after that lovely big back bend. And then inhale back to center. Bringing the hands onto the knees, we're going to sweep the legs round out in front of us. Bringing the feet onto the mat. And nice and slowly, arms to the side, we're going to release all the way down to the floor. Engaging through the core. So a little bit of extra work just before we relax. And then when you reach that bite point, just taking hold of the feet, come and find your happy baby pose. Spine is nice and long, tailbone to the floor. Chin slightly tucked, and maybe you take that gentle sway side to side to massage out through the spine. Allowing the breath to soften. Finding that peace as we start to wind down the practice. And then one hand comes to the heart, one to the belly. We release the feet down either into Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose, or you can find your full Shavasana. Just as we started, focusing that breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Feeling the movement of the breath pressing against the hands and gently falling away. If you like, you can bring the hands away from the body now, palms to the sky, stretching out into your full Shavasana position. Slowing the breath. Focusing in on our theme of AHIMSA. Non-violence and harm. Showing compassion for ourselves as we rest on the mat. Letting go of fear so that our light can shine that little bit brighter. We can be that source of love and joy for others. Knowing that we are safe and that we can drop into this heart space whenever we need to. By connecting with our breath and with our bodies. When you're ready, just start to deepen the breath. If you'd prefer, you can stay here a little bit longer just by pausing the video. Otherwise, starting to gently brush the thumb over the finger pads, wiggling the fingers, the toes, and turning the head from side to side. Bringing the feet onto the floor, rolling over onto whichever side feels most comfortable for you. And then keeping the eyes closed if you can, come all the way to seated. Ending our practice with a big inhale in through the nose. Exhale, sigh the breath out. Bring the hands to heart center. Gently bow the head. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.